Welcome to Your Voice Must Be Heard podcast. I'm your host, Marquita McGee, a happy wife, proud mother, career woman, and voiceover artist. I created this podcast as a place to be encouraged through wisdom for different aspects of life. We all navigate through the many challenges of life, feeling unfulfilled in our purpose, and we believe there's more. We will explore in this podcast keys to unlock the door to the next level and transform. I'll be interviewing people who have found unconventional wisdom that catapulted them to success in business, health, relationships, and their gifts in the arts. We will reflect on how you can apply unconventional wisdom to achieve your success, affirming what you believe and helping you create your transformation story. Come along with me into this week's episode to capture this wisdom and have forward movement in your life. Today, we're going to reflect on the wisdom that was heard in the previous episode during the interview with the lovely Faegan Adams from Journeying to Self. We took a deep dive into her journey from homeless single mom to married and divorced to purpose and a new thriving marriage. There was so much knowledge and wisdom shared during the interview. I want to focus on her final actionable tip. Make a decision today to walk away from anything that is not pleasing to God. If you do that today, it will change what your tomorrow looks like. I hope that you had a chance to think about it. That may sound cliche or a phrase that you've heard before, but it's an actionable thing. So someone would say, well, what does it have to do with relationships? Everything. What does it have to do with my life? Everything. Because if you are walking in purpose, you have to make a decision to make sure that what you're doing pleases God. What's hindering you from forward movement? Let's look at how she used that tip, that unconventional wisdom that catapulted her from being a homeless single mom to a dynamic, thriving wife, mother of 3, successful YouTuber, and a women's outreach conference speaker. There were 3 different phases of her life that we discussed, and we talked about her time as a homeless single mom, her encounter with the Christian faith, and coming to have a relationship with the Lord. We then talked about her time she got married, had another child, and how that marriage was short-lived. Then we talked about her life after the divorce, how she achieved her healing from that, through a season of consecration, how journeying to self began and how it continues even through today. In the 3rd phase of her life, we talked about finding herself, finding who she was meant to be from the image of her childhood dream of knowing she was always going to be married, always going to have children, and becoming found by the man that was designed for her, and the rest is history. So where are you? What is it that you desire within the relationships aspect of your life? Are you a single mom wanting to be married? Are you divorced and wanting to be remarried again? Where are you? I want you to take some time to locate where you are and what it is that you want. She said she had an inner pull of why her life was not showing on the outside what she was sensing on the inside. Have you had an inner knowing or an inner pull to get you away from that thing that's not pleasing in your life or helping you to have forward movement? Are you responding to that? Because wisdom is not the accumulation of knowledge. It's about responding to what you know. It's about actioning that knowledge. Acquired knowledge plus applied knowledge leads to the successful action. She had this inner knowing and she actioned on it. Are you actioning on your inner knowing? You know that there is something different. You know that you can't do the same thing you've been doing again. There's got to be a change. Have you had that inner reflection? In that first marriage, knowing it was failing and that it was not going to last, she responded to it. Are you allowing your lack of response to the inner knowing that you have stop you in your tracks, or are you responding to it? Let's move to life after divorce. Many believe there's no such thing. There's no way that you can have such a great life after such a great failure. Or maybe it's life after death, where you've had a spouse that passed on. There is life after, but the key is to know what it is that you have to do to get to that other side. Let's review another piece of wisdom that was shared. There was a season of consecration for her. Actually, beginning to journeying to herself, she was repairing her life, and so there was dedicated time spent alone. For her, it was 4 months. You have to find out how long or short it is for you to take the time to heal. It's a process. She healed her mind, her heart, her soul from all the trauma that she had experienced in that past marriage, and even the time as a single woman, and the trauma that was experienced through the homelessness and being a mom. She went into hiding and finding herself. We have to take time to heal. We have to take time to consecrate, to come inside, to introspect, to reflect about moving forward. That was the key that catapulted her. That was the key that fast-tracked her from the damage, the loss, the failure. She allowed the healing to continue on, and that wisdom helped her navigate into new life and marrying her soulmate, having more children, and navigating through motherhood in the blended family. I want you to think about what areas in your life that you need to find time to consecrate. Were you married and now divorced and want love again? Have you had that season of consecration? Or you're single and you've gone through life, but now you're ready to settle and be a wife or husband. Have you taken the time to consecrate yourself to be ready for that next level? You know, it's in that moment that determines it all. As you can see, it was the major key to catapulting her to becoming a wife again, finding purpose, a mother of 3, and the successful conference speaker. The actionable tip that we said earlier, she made the decision to walk away from that thing. She made a decision to walk away from the life in her first marriage because it's all about purpose, and you can be in a relationship that is utterly destroying you. You may see it, you may not see it. It may be obvious or may not be so obvious. As Faegan stated, and I paraphrase, get out of the mindset that who you marry doesn't matter, that it's just something the universe pulls 2 people together. No way. Or let's just do this for the thrills. No way. No, because that is not wisdom for long-term success. You may have some measure of success, but long-term, where does it take you? Make a decision today to walk away from anything that is not pleasing to God, that is not great for your life, that is not on the path to forward movement. Go back to those places where you've had that inner knowing about what move you should have made or what decision you should have made that changes your tomorrow. And for those that are wanting marriage, that are wanting to go to that next level in your purpose, find your season of consecration, a place where you can hide yourself, hide to come out, and transform your life. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Your Voice Must Be Heard podcast. I hope the story you heard inspired and motivated you to take action for transformation in some aspect of your life. I would love it if you send an email with questions, share your enlightening moment, or profound wisdom you may have. You can also connect with me on Instagram at Your Voice Must Be Heard podcast. I look forward to hearing from you. See you in the next episode. Bye.